guys know, the Laura VRS in India was a little bit of a scam. Yes, you got the bumper kit, the sunroof, the different interiors, but what it didn't get, and in my opinion is the main part, was the engine. In India, the Laura VRS just got a 1.8 TSI, just like any other stock Laura TSI in the country. But this car gets the proper Laura VRS engine. This over here is a E888 Gen 2 2-litre TSI, not the 1.8. This particular engine has been picked up from a Golf GTI, the Mark 6 Golf GTI to be exact, and it sounds absolutely fabulous. There are a whole bunch of modifications done to this E888 Gen 2 2-litre TSI. Stuff like an upgraded turbo from APR, which is the K04. You get an APR turbo inlet pipe, new speed charge pipes, an Audi S3 intercooler, APR carbon fiber intake, and APR coil packs as well. All in all, I think so the car makes around roughly 300 horsepower. If I'm wrong, I'll put the correct horsepower and torque numbers over here. But the other main difference with this particular build is that it's not running a 6-speed manual. It's in fact gotten a DSG swap as well. In particular, it's got a DQ250 6-speed gearbox swap, and that makes this car pretty damn rapid.
Are you driving something like this when you could be driving something like this? Same boring cars, nowhere to find the good stuff. Wait, these are for sale? Your dream car is just a click away. TDH Classifieds. Time to get yourself the car of your dreams.
Now this Laura build is as close to a European spec Laura VRS as it can be, and of course for that you also need to have all of the cosmetic upgrades. This thing is running a whole VRS conversion kit for the Laura as well. Apart from that, it's been repainted in this beautiful color of steel grey, which was only found on the VRS 230 in India. You also get some upgraded wheels, which are Lenzo Jaeger Dynas if I'm not wrong. Behind them you have upgraded Brembo brakes as well, front and rear. And the only thing that is not Laura VRS is the spoiler. The owner has not put the OEM spoiler, instead he's just put a cool little boot lip spoiler. The tail lights are custom tail lights as well, which look really rad at night. But yeah, overall I think so this car looks really nice, and maybe it can be a little bit of an inspiration for some of you.
Awake.
The inside of the Laura is, well, pretty straightforward in my opinion. The owner has gone for a full black look inside since the Laura VRS came with a black interior. The steering wheel has been changed to this beautiful carbon fiber and Alcantara wheel, which has your infotainment controls as well. But the infotainment system has been upgraded to an aftermarket unit. But I don't think you'll be needing that since the exhaust note of the car is so orgasmic. The 6-speed manual shifter has also been swapped out for the DSG shifter thanks to the DQ250 gearbox swap. You have proper dials and buttons to control your AC. The instrument cluster has old school analog dials with the MID display in the middle for essential information. If there's one thing I'd love to see from the Laura VRS, it's the sporty seats, because after all, that's where you'll be spending most of the time tearing up the road in this beast.
Now, I know this is a very big thing to do on your car, an engine swap, and a lot of people must be having questions as to, is it reliable, can you actually drive it, and can you do like long road trips on it? Well, we picked up the car from Bombay, drove it to Pune, then went to Lonavala. It was, roaming around in Lonavala for some time for the event at Generation Speed. And in total, I think so we've driven roughly around 400 to 450 kilometers, and this car has not thrown a single tantrum. Now, yes, if you check the dash, of course, there are a couple of lights on. One is a light bulb, which basically means that some light in the car is not working, which is totally normal. And the other one is an airbag, which I'm not sure which airbag is not working. But anyways, that is not the point. This car drives like any other car on the road. And if Skoda actually brought the Laura VRS in India, this is how it would be. And it is a handful to drive, not gonna lie. This thing is running a full-on Stage 3 setup. Like I said, it's running an APR K04 Turbo, APR Stage 3 tune, TCU tune. It's running K-Sport coilovers. It's running upgraded Brembo brakes. So basically, it has the whole works, and everything combines together to give you a driving experience that, well, you don't really get in India when it comes to this platform, especially with the DQ250 gearbox swap. This thing is so good to drive. I mean, I know the newer gen VRSs are very fast, they'll keep up with a lot of sports cars and everything, but this, the way it sounds and the power delivery, it's just too good. Honestly, I would pick this car over a VRS 230 or something like that if it just came down to pure excitement and pure fun, because honestly, I don't really care about speed nowadays. So this is a lot of fun and it sounds the bomb, which the newer gen E888 Gen 3 just doesn't sound. Now, this being a project car, of course, there are still a couple of things that need to, be worked on, and a project car is always a work in progress. So I don't blame the owner. Some of the AC vents don't have the adjuster, the gearbox knob is not proper. But apart from that, when it just comes to mechanical stuff, this thing has been built properly. Nick Trans Motorsport and N1 Racing have done an amazing job in making sure that this car drives and works like it was intended to. And it drives so good. This thing has a 3-bar map sensor and it revs all the way up to 7,000 RPM, which a normal Laura 2-liter or even a 1.8 wouldn't do. And that means that this thing has an insane power band, and the way this thing spools up and delivers its power, well, it is super entertaining. Now, while the car might not throw tantrums, I might throw a tantrum because these K-Sport coilovers are pretty darn stiff, and using them on a long road trip journey or just on a day-to-day use might be a little bit tough because they are pretty stiff and it does throw you around quite a bit. But overall, if you have the commitment and if you have the back for it, probably you can drive this thing on a daily basis and maybe even take it on a pretty long road trip.
So let's come to the real question. How much does it cost? And to give you a disclaimer, it's not gonna be cheap. To start, you'll need a Skoda Laura TSI. which can be found in the second-hand market for between 2 to 3 lakh rupees depending on its condition. The engine is a Gen 2 E888 2-litre, which will set you back around 8 lakh rupees, including the wiring harness and supporting parts. The DQ250 transmission costs 6 lakh rupees, includes new flywheels and labor costs as well. So if you want a stock 2-litre swap with the DQ250, the total comes out to 14 lakhs. However, if you want to take it to the next level with a stage 3 setup like this car, be prepared to shell out some extra cash. The K04 Turbo from APR costs 3.5 lakhs, while the Stage 3 ECU and TCU tune costs 1 lakh rupees. The intake, intercooler and inlet pipes add another 1.75 lakhs to the bill, and the water pump upgrade and the coolant replacement parts cost 1 lakh rupees. Cosmetic mods like the VRS bumper, wheels, lights and other things cost around 2 lakh rupees, adding it all up to a grand total of a staggering 23.25 lakhs. And if you include the cost of the car itself, let's say 2.5 lakhs, the total build cost comes out to approximately 25.75 lakhs. But wait, there's more. You can take it up another notch by spending an additional 9 to 10 lakhs to install an all-wheel drive haul deck system to unleash the full potential of this platform. Is it worth spending over 25 lakhs on a 15-year-old car that costs 2 to 3 lakh rupees? Perhaps not to some, but the smile on your face when you drive this beast down the road, well, that's absolutely priceless.
Now yes, the build cost of this particular car might sound absolutely ridiculous, especially when you consider that a stock Laura TSI in the used market is like what, 2.5 lakhs. But what it does give you is proper driving pleasure. The newer style of VRSs, the MK 3.5s and everything, yes, they are incredibly fast, but I think so they're lacking one major thing, that is driving feel. And that's what this PQ platform really gives you. The way it handles, the way it goes down the road, the sound of the engine is what really makes it all come together. The newer gen cars are extremely fast with their IS38s, DQ381s and whatever they have. But when it just comes to driving pleasure, I think so the PQ platform is right up there with some of the nicest front wheel drive cars that have ever been made. And this car is really a testament to that. Thank you so much for watching this video. Shout out to the owner Dishant for letting us drive this car for 400-500 kilometers, because we've drove it from Bombay to Lonavala to Pune, back to Bombay. He's trusted us with this. It was at generation speed with us as well. So follow us on Instagram, give Nick Trans Motorsport, N1 Racing and the owner a quick follow on Instagram as well. And I'll catch you in the next one.